will suffer.
Not if you all die. Looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way.
Hang on.
Prepare to engage!
Impressive.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is 5x5 and I'm Simo. If you haven't already, smash that like and sub button. Now grab your fave bevy, a seat, and let's get into it. I'm back to talk to you about Mandalorian and Grogu. Alright, I was cautiously optimistic about Mandalorian and Grogu, and I think it more or less worked out. I'm not going to spend too much time on Mandalorian versus Grogu because, as I said, I really don't think anybody should be giving money to Disney. That said, I can't really ignore Star Wars. It occupies an outsized impact and footprint on Western geek culture, so I can't really ignore it. So here we are to talk about it with that context in mind. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into any really secretive details or anything that might ruin the movie for you if you haven't already seen it. It's been out for a bit. I wasn't in a huge rush to do this review or see the movie, to be honest. I actually, for the first time in years, didn't see a Star Wars movie on opening or before opening. And I think that kind of encapsulates how a lot of people are feeling about Star Wars right now and Disney products in general and American mainstream blockbuster cinema in general. I don't think anybody is in a rush to give these massive corporations like Disney and Paramount their money. I think that's really what it's going to come down to. I only mention that because from what I've seen of the box office, I don't think I'm alone in that. I think the vast majority of audience they don't care. It's not that they don't love the movie. It is a good movie. It's fine. But I think a lot of people are thinking like me and they just don't care about the movie / they don't want to give their money away to these big American oligarchs. For better or worse, that's where we're at. Now, about the actual movie, I think it was a really good movie. It was a lot of fun. It felt like watching an episode of Clone Wars, but in live action. And I think that was actually really cool, and that was something that it had going for it. But it was more of the side quest episodes of Clone Wars where you have this 4 episode arc where, I don't know, the characters just completely diverge from the main story, and then in the next arc it'll come back to the main story. That's kind of what this felt like. So it was really great to see Filoni's influence on this movie. You could see it everywhere in the world building, in the creatures in the world, in the background, and the inclusion of things and details that we didn't see before, we didn't get before. It felt very Star Wars, and that's all pluses. And I think where the movie struggles, though, is, like I said, it felt more like a side quest. There's nothing going on here. Narratively, this is just an adventure with Mandalorian and Grogu. They go off, they do their thing, and then that's that. It doesn't connect to anything larger. And it's not the connection, the interconnected universe aspect that I'm referring to when I say it doesn't connect to anything larger. I just mean it doesn't do anything for the larger narrative, in terms of a franchise narrative. It's just an isolated one-shot, basically. So that's a really good jumping in point for a lot of new fans, especially if you're young. You're really going to be drawn to this. But it's also a bad thing for existing fans who want to see the franchise, the next installment of the franchise, the furtheration of the franchise, right? Especially if you're an Andor fan. So this was good for kids, and it feels very light, and it doesn't interconnect to anything big or heavy. But if you loved Andor, for example, and you are maybe looking at the world around you and just hoping for some sort of social commentary and depth on everything that's going on in the world, and seeing this reflected in this franchise, because the franchise is ultimately about the rise of fascism and how a liberal democracy falls into fascism, right? That's what it's always been about, according to George Lucas.
I come out of anthropology.
Yeah.
So my focus is social systems. And in science fiction, you got two branches. One is science,
Yeah.
and the other is social.
Right.
I'm much more of the 1984 kind of guy.
Sure.
than I am
THX
be
1138.
very honest with the spaceship guy.
Yeah. You did something very interesting with Star Wars, if you think about it. The good guys are the rebels. They're using asymmetric warfare against a highly organized empire. I think we call those guys terrorists today. We call them Mujahideen, we call them Al-Qaeda.
When I did it, they were Viet Cong.
Exactly. So were you thinking of that at the
Yes.
time? So it was a very anti-authoritarian, nested deep inside of a fantasy.
Or a colonial, you know, we're fighting the largest empire in the world.
Right.
And we're just a bunch of hayseeds in coonskin hats that don't know nothing.
That's right.
And it was the same thing with the Vietnamese.
Yep.
The irony of that one is in both of those, the little guys won.
Right.
And the big, highly technical empire,
The English Empire, right?
the English
British
empire, the American empire,
Yep.
lost.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
You look at the situation now, where America is so proud of being the biggest economy, the most powerful military force on the planet. It's become the empire, from the perspective of a lot of people around the world.
It was the empire during the Vietnam War. But we never learned, you know, from England or Rome or, you know, a dozen other empires that went on for hundreds of years or sometimes thousands of years. We never got it. We never said, well, wait, this isn't the right thing to do. And we're still struggling with it.
And they fall because of failure of leadership or government often. And
Mostly
you have a great line, which is, so this is how liberty dies.
We're in the middle of it right now.
To thunderous applause.
That's a theme that runs all the way through Star Wars.
So if you were, you know, here for that, you're going to be disappointed. With all that in mind, I do think it was a good, nice sort of side quest and fun distraction. If that's what you need, if you just want to take the kids to a fun outing and distraction with everything going on in the world, that's totally valid. And I think if that's what you're looking for, you're going to find it here. But if you were looking for something deeper, I think you're going to be, like, you're not going to dislike the movie. It's just the movie doesn't have anything to offer for you. And I think that's going to kind of dog Star Wars for the next few years until things change around the world. People want something deeper, and big corporations like Disney don't want to give people something deeper. The movie feels very designed by committee. It feels like the shareholders were definitely making sure that the movie only delivered on a light excursion and didn't have any deeper social commentary. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, we had leaks at some point saying that the shareholders had given them notes and saying, we don't want anything like Andor in the next movie. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. So I do think Disney is going to struggle to get butts in seats over the next couple years unless things change really, like, drastically in some way that I can't foresee right now. I guess that's kind of it. That's all I really thought about it. Yeah, I'd give it a solid, like, 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's really good, but it's nothing special. And I think because of the lack of interconnectedness, this is great for new viewers, like I said, but it also means it's easy to skip. And I guess that's how I would want to leave this sort of mini review here. It's easy to skip, and I would say it's still fun, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, but just wait until you can get it at home and watch it at home. And if you can at all avoid it, don't give Disney your money. Yeah, just don't. Decent movie, fun, but wait to see it at home. Don't go out and spend, especially in this economy. So yeah, that's what I thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's a wrap for now. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Stay safe and look out for each other.